Exploring the Mastery of Gratitude, How to Rise Beyond the Ordinary. Written by Evelyn Harper. Publishing by Audify Stories. The Mastery of Gratitude demonstrates the ease, beauty, and restorative effect of returning to the truth of our being, which is peace, joy, gratitude, and giving. This is a fun, easy-to-read, and very practical book. The steps will get you quickly to our natural state of gratitude, then you will have the ability to frolic here every minute of your life. The 100% guaranteed results will be obvious to everyone you know, yet your practice will be entirely invisible all the while. To add to this great fun, as it is mine now, are the many ways of encouraging others to join paradise with you. Not that we need rewards, but having them along the way can be great added reinforcement. I enjoy that smiling more at checkout counter folks thing so much. The process also demonstrated an unexpected aspect of these steps of gratitude. By being consistently grateful, we stay with the mind of God. Many masters have referred to it as not being hypocritical, fundamentally knowing there is no accident to step into an empty elevator with the boss you've been ripping on for years, only to realize a cosmic setup is happening here. Both enlightenment and liberation are results of living in the now moment, and living the truth of your being right now is being. Would I suggest having fun today? Absolutely. Will I be guiding fast breaks and falling trees? No, I will be in joy and playing volleyball by myself all day. We all will have more things we can agree on as core truth, such as dedicating our lives to coherent truth will spontaneously increase the goodness in the world. There is nothing ordinary about the human fascination and purpose to find a fulfilling life and make meaning of one's experiences in this earthly life. The purpose of gratitude is one central idea that must not escape our discovery and search for greater meaning in our life stories. Sages and wise people believe that the purpose of life cannot be understood or established unless the place of gratitude and thanksgiving occupies a priority in our thoughts. Gratitude is said to constitute ordinary paraphernalia of everyday life. But in our everyday experiences, the act of offering gratitude is often the most difficult of the undertakings and, therefore, its mastery is always met with resistance. Gratitude is a common human virtue or universal attribute that is said to deepen the sense of the spiritual, lead to the discovery of the spiritual aspects in the world around us, and make us feel more connected. According to humility, dutifulness, and obedience to God's word and command, resisting the ego are some of the characteristics of a committed believer in Him. Yet, recognition of the worth of platitudes is very difficult to put into action by ordinary people. Many lessons must be learned across contexts, situations, and character dialogue. Yet, it appears impossible to explore and teach or to learn and master gratitude without first experiencing a poverty of love, positive relationships, and the absence of what makes life good, healthy, and soulful. Introduction to Gratitude. Visiting the ordinary is part of the deal in life, for sure, but the unremarkable time prepares us for the extraordinary moments that we universally love. Few of us give thought to the times when we are not prompted to live up to responsibility or service. However, looking beyond those times for opportunities to help ourselves, we find that nothing helps improve the mood like being grateful for what we have. Many research cases have shown that being grateful takes life from thinking that it is terrible to seeing how amazing it could be. These findings come from getting a pitch to feel happy. Much of life improvement is laid at the feet of counting our blessings. Regular gratitude repays people who practice it by making them happier and their lives more meaningful. The evidence backs up these claims, but a few powerful studies should be able to make the decision for those who are serious about rising beyond the ordinary. Research suggests that the role of gratitude in people's lives can improve significantly if they take proactive steps. It is noted that grateful people are not, on the whole, richer, younger, better-looking, more psychologically or physically fit, less or more educated, or are in more or less attractive jobs. Grateful people see the same dreary corners of the world that everyone else sees. They do not merely experience life as better. On the whole, they actually experience better lives. One study found that young students who wrote about things they were grateful for daily noted an increase in their overall satisfaction with their lives and their satisfaction with their lives as a whole, family, friends, and work. Thankfulness costs nothing, but one who receives it becomes a wealthier individual. All of us possess the ability to respond in such a way that we show gratitude, and with the capacity to do this, we have the gift of a very strong emotional state or force. We bring joy and happiness to those who possess and demonstrate goodness. Gratitude does not fall into our human structures by chance. It has been examined, recognized, highly treasured, and practiced throughout human history. Everyone who has achieved greatness recognized the greatness from which they were able to offer to others. We are the major source of our welfare as the creator of our thought patterns evolves with education, encouragement, along with support and compassion from family and all the fellow beings who surround and uphold us during our life journey. Defining gratitude. Defining gratitude. Expressions of gratitude are fundamental to the celebration of all significant human achievements, linking as they do an appreciation for one's accomplishments among individuals and an awareness of one's standing vis-a-vis a group, a family, or a culture. It is no accident that expressions of thanks are the most universal of all human ceremonial utterances. They are a public expression of a significant and deep-rooted human awareness that we are not self-sufficient independent operators but are somehow connected to, or dependent on, individuals other than ourselves or on a source of support that lies beyond our immediate selves. We may see gratitude in terms of our interdependence by identifying those people, forces, or circumstances that contribute to our success and addressing our sense of appreciation to them. A caveat that must be added is that when gratitude is properly expressed, there must also be an awareness of the outlook espoused by each of the people or forces that have contributed support. The proper spiritual posture of an attitude of gratitude implies the awareness of interdependence. I do not believe one can adequately address what gratitude is in a scientific way, as if developing a hypothesis to explain its uniqueness. However, I do believe that we can explore it under deeper consideration from many perceptive angles. My intention in this first installment is to touch very briefly upon a few of the myriad explorations of the concept of gratitude. As you read this chapter, I hope it will occur to you to undertake your own personal exploration of gratitude, assuring you that gratitude is likely to show the project to be rewarding. Gratitude is well established as special, and in many orientations and from many perspectives, it is known as a foundation for a measure of mental health. In many cases, it may be well to ask how it is different from well-known emotional and spiritual topics such as happiness, well-being, and perceived wellness. Indeed, in the popular press, bloggers suggest that happiness, appreciation, generosity, and caring for the earth are core to living a life more rewarding than slaving for just cash. Regardless of where you approach this exploration, the conclusion is the same. Each of the orientations is measured by differing sets of dependent measures varying with exploratory focus. This must tell us much about the concept of gratitude. Gratitude allows living in the present. It allows us to begin to access non-cognitive evaluation processes that may function as cornerstones for reciprocal theme discoveries. Elevation and motivation through love, in all its various components, are basic to incorporating any of these functional support components into innovative, happy lives. Moreover, gratitude is capable of linking these components into a potentially strong unity of loving friendship and compassionate care. The longer we live with a network of loving supporters, the happier and the more inventive, brave, and risk-taking behaviors can be expected. Our achievements in initiating and sustaining a group discussion have a direct tie to our moral character and soul of personality. our wealth and the country's prosperity are undergirded in turn by our realizing meaning with our loving intimate virtues. At the same time, we realize that we can test the truth of measuring our meaning factors by how reliable our gratitude relational outcome data are. Historical and cultural perspectives on gratitude. Throughout history, religions, philosophies, and life-affirming discussions often stress the importance of gratitude. Both Buddhism and Christianity emphasize practicing gratitude as part of the journey. Moreover, in Persian culture, the belief that enjoying the gift of life and receiving a divine blessing for experiencing Tabriz, the mystical city, is as much a part of the journey as is exploring it. In general, pronouncements regarding gratitude often dominate the highest aspects of a culture's recorded thought. The great Roman Cicero, Savonarola, Melchizedek, and Émile Zola, as well as such modern thinkers as Ralph Waldo Emerson and Albert Schweitzer, are always forthcoming with epiphanies for a grateful way of life. Another example of the human need for gratitude is China's cult of filial piety. Studies dating back to the Han Dynasty majored by a reverence for parents and ancestors. The complex feelings expressed in Western languages through the wide range of linguistic nuances expressing gratitude, including thanks, obligation, and polite language, find adamant counterparts in the equally impressive Chinese gestural language, a nation for which the exaggerated use of the word please in negotiations is no match. One of the oldest and most enduring challenges in philosophy is attaining mastery over oneself. Mastering gratitude, viewed by scholars from all civilizations as one of those mature qualities to be cultivated if one is to enjoy the fullness of life, is at the very heart of the great psychotherapeutic ambition. Gratitude is vital to the good life in many traditions since its absence reveals a significant unrefinement in an individual. The question of how cynicism can be avoided at a time when the need for gratitude is at its high point in history is the very plain one we are left with today. In order to appreciate the sublimity of gratitude fully, it is necessary to explore its deep root. The Greek, Latin, and English words for gratitude share common roots in the Sanskrit language, some 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. The oldest English meaning is being favored by God, and therefore gratitude is expressed appropriately by intrinsic and extrinsic thanks to God or by reciprocal acts that honor the favor received from the benefactor. Because God, as the creator of everything existing, is the ultimate and most exquisite benefactor, every web of relationships can be gratefully perceived and must be accepted in love. Gratefulness expressed in human-to-human relationships symbolizes acknowledgement and love for both fractions of the divine creation. Chapter 1. The Science of Gratitude. When you hear the words, "thank you," there's a certain happiness and comfort that follows, an emotional connection intact. We encounter acts of kindness on a daily basis, yet neglect the true feeling that accompanies it, gratitude. The human response of gratitude is complex and often spontaneous, yet the effects of this response could be immense and long-lived. A key predictor of who is capable of mastering the art of gratitude is their level of satisfaction in life. Grateful people typically attain this level, and they achieve this goal, in part, by recognizing the source of their joy in life. They understand that although external circumstances contribute to worthwhile goals, true happiness lies within. This distinction makes all the difference. Grateful people are not only appreciative, they are also generous. In these communal relationships, people perform good deeds without expecting anything in return. A grateful person simply acknowledges how they've been made richer when someone has helped them, and in turn expresses how thankful they are that another person has chosen to allow them to aid in their enrichment. Furthermore, gratitude can never be faked because it is implicit in human communication. The words we use express our shared intentions, knowledge, emotions, and belief. In summary, gratitude defines our humanity, and a life devoid of it would indeed feel quite empty. The mastery of gratitude begins with the understanding of gratitude from a scientific perspective. Although people feel gratitude, and many expressions of gratitude are based on deep spiritual values, it is still important to understand gratitude from a great scientific point of view for the mastery of gratitude to be available for everyone. Gratitude is not just an attitude or a feeling. It is a universal part of the human condition, reaching far back in human evolution. The word gratitude has its roots centuries ago and is derived from the Latin word gratus. In the simplest terms, gratitude is being grateful for the presence of good fortune while working to recognize that all of our human interactions are supported to some extent at all times. Through years of empirical research, it has been systematically measured the impact of blessings and gratitude through scientific experiments and studies, and has shown positive and significant administrative and well-being benefits that follow from them. In fact, it has been highlighted that the ability to give and to receive gratitude is our deep human need and drive. In other words, we are exhausted both in body and consciousness not only by the inability to fully express or receive gratefulness but also by the inability of others to fully acknowledge or receive the good that we do. Through understanding the dynamics and ways of expressing and receiving gratitude, we will refine our expression exchange to create further energies in our lives and motivate others to enhance their prosperity. Psychological effects of gratitude. The expression of gratitude is a fundamental component of human social life, but it also has deep cognitive value. How much do we really understand about being grateful? In our effort to deconstruct the concept and its meaning with examples of how it can be given and what people do when they are the recipients, we identified a psychological experience that comes close to the expression of gratitude in just one parameter: the adoption of a value other than the dominant one, i.e., allowing oneself to mentally adopt a mindset that values what another person in a particular situation values. In contrast, the donor of the favor does not experience gratitude. Only when acting in ways that seem to help the recipient understand the motivation of the favor, or achieve the same mindset, does the donor report gratitude. Gratitude has been seen historically as an important social or moral experience. The social ethos of the United States and the concept of beneficence in a number of religious traditions have long recognized gratitude as an important and meritorious theme. Ancient Buddhist and Greek Stoic philosophers viewed gratitude as freedom from the tyranny of personal desires or excess, recognition of the relative harmlessness and temporary nature of what other people do, and a state of mildness that distributes pride for prosperity over the circumstances that benefit us rather than over the prosperity itself. Gratitude is often heard as an expression of giving, about the positive emotion one feels when one receives a gift that benefits from, and is frequently experienced in contrast to the aspect of outright beneficence. Being grateful has a bunch of benefits. It is well documented that people who are grateful during tough times tend to be happier, less anxious, more spiritual, more empathetic, less lonely, and less depressed. They are also more satisfied with their lives, more connected to others, have fewer colds, less pain, better sleep, better health, and are more likely to help others. While the psychological effects of feeling gratitude have been extensively researched, they are only a small part of the puzzle. By practicing feeling grateful on a regular basis, people will be able to more fully activate the potential of these benefits. I hope that this book will make people more aware of all the effects and the long-term benefits gained by practicing gratitude and, by doing so, inspire them to shift their perspective into a more grateful state. Neurological basis of gratitude. Neurological basis of gratitude. It was once thought that the adult brain is fully developed. Occasional changes or improvements may be received through stimulation, education, or training, but to rise beyond the ordinary, one is often forced to lay hands on other sources. Our concepts were slightly modified when, through very advanced technological development, the cerebral sections of some meditators were studied, and the results showed a vast transcendental reorganization of the brain. The findings were more or less confirmed in a more recent longitudinal study that showed very strong long-term effects of a training program or a consistent meditation practice. But the studies slightly miss the point that it is more the gratitude practice together with being in a state of peace than pure relaxation or peaceful ambience that could bring about and cause consolidated functional connectivity changes in the brain. The gray matter changes and the structural reorganization are left untouched or inadequately highlighted. The brain science of gratitude. Gratitude is the heart's memory. The power of gratitude's marvel compels us to imagine everything we possess right here, right now, as appearing to us for the first time and doing so with love. The beauty and transformative potential of gratitude have been expounded on for centuries. Wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. Today we appreciate gratitude for the surprising, powerful means of healing and working in and upon the brain. Recent functional magnetic resonance imaging efforts have shown that altruism correlates with enhanced neural activity in the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, as well as an interesting relationship between self-focus and affective traits and various measures of regional gray matter health. Other studies have associated better stress regulation with increased gray matter density in the prefrontal cortex, to list a few findings. In the current conjecture, we hypothesize that gratitude contributes not only to stress regulation, but to our relationships with time through enhancing memory regulation with increased regional gray matter density. Chapter 2. Practical Strategies for Cultivating Gratitude. Chapter 2. Practical Strategies for Cultivating Gratitude. People often want to know the various ways to cultivate gratitude and how to weave this quality into the fabric of daily living. Since knowledge is not secret information, I am always very willing to share this with others for the purpose of bringing positive changes in their lives and the lives of people they care about. This second chapter is devoted to practical strategies for cultivating gratitude. Among the various practices, some are specifically designed to open a narrow view. Some purposes are structurally contrived to point straight to the source of discomfort and sorrow, and, in this context, gratitude. Hence, I will introduce forgiveness in this chapter. The spoken and written words are intended to open one's heart, to provide information, to help guide, and to inspire one to act to bring about a positive transformation. Such words are not intended to be treated as absolute or the only truth. Before putting them into action, you are encouraged to reflect, ponder, form your own understanding, and to test for yourself. It is through personal verification that one attains certainty, conviction, and peace of mind. At the same time, humility and a willingness to be receptive to hear and learn from others will ensure an unimpaired learning process. Finally, the personalized master plan of practical strategies has been designed to assist in bringing attention closer to the contemplated thoughts and actions throughout this journey. Gratitude is not only about the act of giving thanks, but also about the power of positive intention. Cultivating gratitude is a practical approach to living a rich and fulfilled life. This chapter will capture practical ideas for cultivating gratitude. It is useful for readers to acknowledge that there are important individual differences in how one person may best demonstrate thanks versus another. Herein are a number of suggestions to help you acquire a gratitude mindset. Nonetheless, it is important to leverage these ideas to create a personal positive intention plan that is uniquely your own. Acknowledging the goodness in one's life is grounded in these positive intentions. Beatitudes are a way of looking at the world, manifesting feelings of appreciation and thanks towards doers, creators, connectors, leaders, learners, teachers, friends, and loved ones. Today's world is more impatient, harried, and reactive than reflective, graceful, and proactive. Gratitude journaling. Expressing gratitude by reflecting upon and recording moments of grace for which one is grateful each day has performed nothing short of miracles in people's lives. It is appropriately referred to as the secret of life, the mystery of life, and all the good words we attribute to excellence because the transformation it effects is beyond ordinary. This is only one of the many expressions of gratitude. It is powerful enough that expressing gratitude in just this one way will profoundly move your life forward. Writing 1 to 3 pages in a journal or notebook each day is apparently the single most powerful way of expressing gratitude and, through so doing, transforming your life. Happier people tend to write much more positive notes and thank you letters. They express more gratitude through this means than less happy people do. The frequency alone has enormous positive effect. This is also true for people who are naturally most disposed toward depression, and at the same time, they are the people least disposed to embark on this activity in the first place. Increasing the notes of gratitude also brings joy to those who do so, nor is this manually adjusting your mindset. Gratitude journaling is the most researched form of gratitude practice. A study showed that those students who kept a gratitude journal for 5 weeks increased their positive effect. During a separate study, the same students also increased their life satisfaction compared with the students who did not keep journals. To bring in another level of enhancement to the gratitude journaling process, it is helpful to put some of the details into it, such as the 3 Ws plus 1. The 3 Ws go like this. First, list a specific thing for which you are grateful. Next, tell why you are grateful for the specific thing. Then, describe how the specific thing has involved other people in your life. Finally, insert as +1 how you will complete the gratitude practice in the next 24 hours. A study conducted showed that a participant planned to keep a gratitude journal for 1 week. So for 7 consecutive nights, he wrote down his thoughts about the benefits he has received. Likewise, another participant participated over the same time. However, at the end of the week, the results could not have been clearer. After just 1 week of keeping gratitude journals, post-test analyses indicated that both reported relatively low levels of anxiety. They had not kept a gratitude practice before, nor were they likely to have changed how other areas of their lives functioned. The 2 individuals took no vacations or sabbaticals. Financial circumstances also stayed the same. The only difference was that they spent a few minutes each day in a mindful gratitude state on their own. And yet, these 3 short questions could yield life-changing results. Mindfulness and gratitude practices. Practicing gratitude helps individuals focus more on what they have than on what they don't have. Therefore, mindfulness and gratitude practices can have a positive and natural relationship that supports people to flourish and enjoy happiness and general life satisfaction. In the morning and before falling asleep, practice the habit of reflecting on 3 things you are grateful for. This small action develops a stronger capacity to see the positive aspects of life. We, in general, focus less time on threats and more time on the healing moments of joy, love, inspiration, triumph, and pleasure. Happiness is a habit that one can train. Ending your day with meditation or conscious breathing is a compliment. Reflect on the best things in your day during these exercises. Train strong attention and dedication to register happiness in your mind and in your heart. The simple practice of memorizing 3 good things every day promotes a higher level of gratitude, and it contributes to greater satisfaction. At the end of the week, discover what you did last week that helped you regain your satisfaction and joy. Understand how influential gratitude has been in your process. Understand how being present has energized you and increased the attention, discipline, and patience needed throughout your day. We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. To receive and practice all the wonder and wisdom of these 4 mindfulness habits wherever you are is to begin to transform your life. The 4 qualities of mindfulness. Acknowledgement of what is, mindful divinity resolution to work constructively with what is, mindful reality concentration on harmony with what is, mindful enrichment ingestion of the blessings of what is mindful gratitude. Mindful divinity. We all know what it feels like to be in the presence of spiritual divinity. The warmth, the love, the strength. The divine is brilliant and transcendent, connected yet vast, unborn and eternal. In fact, divinity is all of these things. But not only are these qualities divine, so is everything else in the universe, for everything is interconnected and related to each other. These relatedness and interconnectedness are themselves divine qualities. Everything is made of the same stuff. Every atom, every cell constantly responds to, interacts with, is maintained by, and is responsible to divinity, always sourcing divine gift. Concentrate on knowing this constantly. Be mindful of divinity. Chapter 3: Gratitude in Relationships. Gratitude and relationships. What we can learn from the people around us. How easy is it to notice the specialness in the people that you are close to? Let's start off by talking about partnership. Most people see the person that they are close to as one of the deepest sources of teaching and learning that they have in life. If you have a partner, most of what is discussed, communication-wise, between the two of you likely touches at some level everything from daily happenings and activities to high-level issues of purpose, values, and direction. Disagreements and conflicts might arise when it comes to deciding how or what to do when issues or preferences are different, but these circumstances add energy to making the relationship matter even more. In what ways do you make your partner understand how much they matter to the relationship, and how much do they do the same for you? One of the greatest masters of English literature, William Shakespeare, authored a powerful passage in his play Hamlet, which describes the power of gratitude in relationships. King Claudius, repentant for the murder he had just planned, is depicted in a positive light when he admits his guilt and asks for forgiveness. "Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and, like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect." Claudius, king of Denmark, was a complex character who was both noble and yet reflective. He had everything, yet lacked everything. His life was a parody because of his actions in relation to his family and kingdom. Devoid of the ability to feel gratitude in relationships, his life was never content. His downfall was to fulfill his greatest needs by performing dishonorable deeds because he misunderstood the simple words, "I am sorry" and "I am grateful," or he was just not capable of expressing them. As a result of his life's plight, he forgot the most powerful principle which states, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Without this master principle, King Claudius never reached his potential. His life was an example of not tasting what every person in the world desires: contentment, peace, love, and partnership. Expressing gratitude to others. It is not uncommon for us to be acquainted with the word "thank you." While it is genuine for most of us when it is said, or polite for the rest, how often and how consistently, however, is the word of gratitude expressed to those who need to hear it the most? The true test, of course, of genuine appreciation is when it is expressed in real difficulties or under challenging personal circumstances. It is at this juncture, on both the individual's part and on his receiver's, that we see true expressions of character. Amidst all our struggles, disappointments, pain, and relative misfortunes, gratitude has the power to elevate the mundane in our lives, turning the leaden dross of existence into the purest of gold. The transformation can be quite miraculous, even heaven-sent. Only the blind do not see the beams of light that gratitude sends forth. Let us express our gratitude to others and express it frequently as well. Ideally, we should be grateful every second of our entire life for each breath that is ours, for each footstep we can take, for each sight, for each sound, and for everything we have around us, including our loved ones. We start by acknowledging the smallest of graces that everyone we meet, see, and talk to showers us with. For the gratitude that we express consistently, lavishly, and openly to others is the most tangible symbol of our state of being. Life's greatest riches never come to those who have hoarded incredible sums of money, power, or possessions, but to those who have accumulated just mere scraps of time to express gratitude to others and who have reaped the joy of doing so. Everyone reaches out to help others. That's just basic human nature. If you possess the ability to forget help received, or no longer feel thankful, or don't want to show it, then you tend to become worthless. By feeling thankful, even a person who has done something bad can become a good person, gain friends, and be encouraged to move upwards. Conversely, people who don't express thanks become hated, make more and more enemies, pass their time in darkness, and stagnate. Use the words that convey the feeling of being thankful to the extreme. This is because there is no emotion that makes people feel happier and more inspired. Always show your gratitude every time someone extends a handshake. It isn't that wanting updates on what happened to that person is a bad thing, but in order to express one's thanks and move upwards, all a person has to do is to do so regularly and frequently. If you show you are glad to meet them regardless of what has happened, not only will the person feel good, but at the same time, they are encouraged to do their best and take actions with gratitude as their motivation. Seeing that smile capable of getting rid of the fatigue of the day makes you know self-righting and fosters a healthy disposition. This is because by repaying gratitude to others, you yourself gather as well. The role of gratitude in building strong connections. One of the keys to success in breaking free from the ordinary experience of life is to work on mastering relationships and connections. This is your ability to connect with different people, preferably those who are good and can help bring out the best in you. Relationships largely define your life satisfaction level and attractions. This is where the role of gratitude comes in. Building strong emotional relationships that fulfill, empower, and uplift you requires certain virtues such as kindness, compassion, appreciation, and gratitude. However, these virtues are hardly ever mentioned when it comes to making people like you quickly. Gratitude is the art of passionately and intentionally expressing one's appreciation for the abundance in life. Your experiences are deepened when you are grateful for every moment in your life. Indeed, more of life is attracted to you, and you magnetize and retain more of the manifestor's power of the universe. Gratitude can be a powerful tool when it comes to deepening social bonds and creating more intimate relationships. If you regularly remind yourself of the kindness and effort people around you direct toward you, it becomes easier to stay emotionally connected. Not to mention the fact that people who feel more appreciated and valued find new strength to help you stay resilient in times of stress. It is a giving-receiving cycle. The more you express gratitude to others, the more appreciated they feel, the more they are willing to help and support you, the easier it becomes to face and conquer your fears. In all these examples, gratitude plays a key role in strengthening the cords of connection. One reason why gratitude plays a critical role in building ties with others lies in its power to affect our own emotional state and general mood. Gratitude has the ability to lift us up, to take us beyond ourselves, to make us shine. Gratitude can act as a life-giving tonic, strengthening and energizing every aspect of ourselves and our lives. It is hard to remain too long in a state of fatigue when we do not take the things around us for granted. Indeed, one enduring paradox of gratitude is that the more we are thankful for what we have, the more likely we are to attract further gifts and blessings, thus stirring action and excitement in our lives, which otherwise tend to atrophy through constant repetition of routine. Chapter 4. Gratitude in the Workplace. When it comes to the corporate world, most of the time people associate it with something that makes them work long hours, and therefore time away from family, friends, and even time for themselves. Further, if one is also in a highly competitive field, it really doesn't matter. one can be left feeling worn out. One of the reasons people feel this way is that they don't feel appreciated. When people don't feel appreciated and their hard work goes unrecognized, why should they go beyond the call of duty? They shouldn't, because they are not compensated for such efforts. Bad morale at work is unwelcome by all, and one way such feelings can be quickly dissipated is with a show of appreciation. Appreciation can come in many forms, but the most successful way is through sincere and heartfelt gratitude. When this is present in the workplace, absence, tardiness, and deterioration of workmanship will dramatically decrease. People respond to a general display of gratitude much better than through threats or money. Kindness begets kindness. Gratitude is also a lot more than just saying thank you once a person leaves your office. A person's family, their health, and their happiness are all facets that can have spillover effects leading to success and dedication at work. These things are often taken for granted. They are part of the play and not the work mentality many people face when they leave their daily office to travel home, but when a moment of peace is taken to acknowledge such things, the effects are greatly felt. Gratitude helps one to look past the unpleasant aspects and dispel much of the negativity that exists. The qualities of gratitude have been shown to align very closely with the established practices and strategies of effective leaders. In fact, the skill set associated with mastering gratitude might be considered the essential skill of leadership. Much of the recent surge of interest in spiritual and emotional intelligence, personal and social growth, human development, and happiness is associated with the effort to understand what it means to live with gratitude and grace. Generous acknowledgement of gratitude from companies, bosses, and employees yields superior returns on equity and assets, higher labor productivity, less absenteeism, reduction in non-work compensable injuries, and fewer grievances. High performance is not only energized by this expression of gratitude but may, in fact, be compromised by a lack of it. Gratitude strengthens our feeling of oneness. People who recognize the benefits they have received from another feel close to and have a sense of bonding with the person who has showered them with help or blessings. Connection is grounded in gratefulness and arises from an appreciation of all the kindness and support that we receive. When applied to the workplace, it is found that in companies and organizations where leaders operate from a base of gratitude, workers experience high levels of recognition for their contributions. The climate of openness, fairness, and equality may be a context in which gratitude expressions are encouraged, stimulated, and given room to grow and manifest. The concrete expressions of gratitude build a deeper sense of meaning and purpose within the company. Benefits of a gratitude culture in organizations. In today's hectic and budget-driven organizations, many employees feel overworked and unappreciated. They may hit their objectives, but they're not happy in their work. They're not finding personal fulfillment by contributing to something purposeful, and so engagement and innovation drop. One way to change that is to initiate a gratitude culture in an organization. A gratitude culture is one where employees are regularly recognized for the contributions that are made, where there is a culture of thanking both informally and formally, both upwardly and downwardly. When the people at the head of the organization take the time regularly to notice and thank employees for what they're doing, relationships between individuals improve, communication improves, and conflict drop. Employees have been found to work ahead on their own, to work on something positive for the good of the organization. A gratitude culture enhances the organization's reputation externally. This has a tremendous impact on innovation and resilience, creating a stepping stone to developing an organization that can deal with the unexpected. And when individuals in an organization stop the denial of unhappiness, stress, and tension, it can lead to a more mindful and heart-centered organization. Numerous studies on the benefits of a gratitude culture in organizations suggest that sentiment carries solid weight in business. The high-profile employer is unwavering in believing that happy companies are successful ones. They plan and strategize carefully to ensure their employees are comfortable and motivated. These manifest strategies include the provision of work environments that are close to the employees' homes and other attractive perks. Even though profits surpass $50 billion, stakeholders are not limited to profit-taking. The organization has never lost sight of the fact that its motivated workforce contributes to ongoing success. In fact, the internal feeling of an employee of being appreciated is a much more powerful point of leverage than something like a bonus for increased productivity ever can be. From little children in kindergarten classes, where parents go out of their way to give gifts, a show of recognition and acknowledgement rather than just moving on to the next item on the to-do list has been shown to carry the power of empowerment and is considered the most desirable way to build trust, appreciation, and collaboration. When acknowledging another person, this can mean just being present, as our thoughts can be felt by whoever we are with. Small gestures such as appreciating, listening, caring, and engagement are very important. Leadership and gratitude. When we think of great leaders, so often we look directly to the world stage. Recently, and not surprisingly, we may have invoked images of such heroes as a brave and principled revolutionary who spent 27 years of his life imprisoned for his people. Here was a man of courage, with a transcendent vision for his people which he held, despite the tower of odds stacked against him and the near impossible road to rise to the sometimes unimaginable moral high ground which he took. Or we may have looked to another late and extraordinary world leader, a nun and saint of the people who rendered service in the gutters to those whom all others had despised and left to rot. Alternatively, we may have turned our gaze towards a man of peace, the transcendent revolutionary who, through non-violent protest, liberated his great nation from the shackles of a supremely dominant superpower. Leaders such as these clearly stand head and shoulders beyond the ordinary. Indeed, the point here is that leadership, after all, is about human beings. In her book, The Mastery of Gratitude, How to Rise Beyond the Ordinary, Ginny Sassaman suggests gratitude is the opposite of entitlement. She suggests that one of the roadblocks to creating a culture of gratitude is that some people have risen to the top while behaving badly, while no one has challenged them. The rest of us fall in line, telling ourselves we deserve their unfair promotions or reward packages, or ignoring the poor behavior of a family member because they are family. Our failure to express gratitude in corporate settings is as chronic as that in our everyday lives. Have you taken for granted the daily attempts of your teammates? Have you become so used to their hard work that you fail to thank anyone for a job well done? The first set of questions at a brainstorming session typically is how to reward an employee or a team. The second set of problems is how do we thank them? Building a sense of community, a sense that someone cares about us and shares in our problems, is at the heart of building a grateful corporate culture. Self-centered leaders focus on their own needs, and workers feel neglected, unappreciated, or taken for granted. Workers who give with a sense of ennui or obligation, no longer taking joy from work, are surrounded by people who may need something from them but do not appreciate them. Finding our calling is often stated as an individual responsibility. This calling can only be realized if those around us recognize that we have a purpose and that what we do is valuable to them. We realize our potential if someone recognizes and celebrates it. Chapter 5. Gratitude and Mental Health. A hard and unkind man is a very careful man. Naturally, he cannot trust other people because nobody gives him anything. In the competition of life, he gives very little and demands the highest price for it in cash, care, or consideration. Yet the reason he is unkind is that he is afraid to let people see or to find out that he is grateful, that under his crusty or tough exterior there is the bright light of delight in people being nice to him, and the belief that he is unworthy of that respect, gratitude, and love. It is easier for him to spurn kindness than to admit the sound of the light is hurting his ears. These unkind people obviously have a mental health problem, and the only way they know to cope is to be perpetually unkind. Positive mental health is that state of well-being which can put up with disequilibrium. It is not the mental health that has to be braced constantly, but one which can stretch and relax according to the pressure. Positive mental health is not something instant and permanent, but that constitutes a gradual improvement. It is not the artificial mental health that is all light and no shade, but the natural mental health which can accept life's difficulties and shortcomings and look ahead instead of dwelling on the past. Gratitude must be one of the important characteristics contributing to mental health. Those who are always inwardly trying to find something to be grateful enough to accept turn themselves into a mental straitjacket that restricts their natural movement and flexibility. Only by throwing away that evasion and living as naturally as possible can they benefit from that robustness and resilience of the positive mental health which brings us back to near diagnoses. There is an increased market demand for tailored solutions to enhance the quality of life. Stress reduction, recovery from professional burnout, self-esteem improvement, self-affirmation, or at least the achievement of a heartfelt connection between human beings is sought in people or groups who are devoted to personal development and living well. There seems to be a shared and widespread awareness that, to function properly as people, we need to give meaning to our lives and those of others around us. One of the most proposed theories for understanding the phenomena in which a person transcends and makes sense of his or her individual life is positive psychology, which provides the scientific study of the strengths that allow human beings to motivate themselves and achieve satisfactory performance, increasing health, happiness, and well-being. Its intervention uses activity in the light of virtue and strength and is based on the human sphere, understood as wisdom and knowledge, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Gratitude is one of these transcendent values, a fundamental component of well-being, positive emotions, and a promising future, and it maintains the intrinsic feature of avoiding being taken for granted. Gratitude as a coping mechanism. The many forms of positive emotions, like gratitude, love, and joy, bring long-lasting fulfillment. The positive psychology movement does provide one way to raise our baseline level of happiness, although it will never eliminate struggle and pain from human experience. This section investigates just what gratitude is, why people feel it, and the many benefits of feeling gratitude. The psychology of gratitude continues the ongoing debate in psychology about whether or not there are many discrete basic emotions. Most psychologists agree that there are only a few basic or primary emotions. However, some insist that discrete emotions are just part of the everyday extraordinary experience, whereas some maintain that positive emotions like hope and gratitude help to carry placebo effects into the long term, even as hope and humor often interrupt the negative. People also turn to gratitude as a way of coping with trauma and increase resilience by helping the person to develop the ability to put painful memories into perspective. When grieving, people often use gratitude interventions to help them consider the loved one and their time with that person. Although grief is not typically considered to be a positive emotion, practicing gratitude following bereavement bolsters well-being and facilitates the recovery process more quickly. Gratitude can also be used as a coping skill in a way that is beneficial even for those who haven't been successful at otherwise down-regulating negative feelings like fear, grief, or sadness. Even for those who may not have positive thinking skills that they will already implement to help them manage strong negative emotions, gratitude can still help. In our lives, it is easy to spend all our waking hours doing what is necessary, whether that is work or raising a family. Some people feel that menial routine jobs or business tasks that repeat themselves are such a bother and suffer from ennui. It is also very common to come across patients who complain of boredom and have no feeling of satisfaction with life or the companionship of their loved ones. Discovering a sense of humor, a sense of wonder, or an obsession is easier than discovering a sense of gratitude and manifesting it. The first two involve considerable diversion from work. Obsessive people may not be happy, but the single strand of sense aimed at a particular goal saves them from mental strain and struggle. There is considerable effort in gratitude as well, but the process can provide joy and relaxation and help in re-establishing self-esteem. Gratitude interventions in therapy. In therapy, utilizing gratitude as an intervention involves much more than prompting clients to count their blessings. As most of my clients, whether seeing me for help with anxiety, depression, or disordered eating, have a tendency to focus on what is wrong or lacking in themselves and their lives, I frequently employ strategies to increase their gratitude. Because they may be unable to spontaneously experience or share what they appreciate about themselves or their relationships with others, I use a compassionately developed approach to help them do so. Since mental health is more dependent on the degree of positive feeling shared than the intensity of a particular experience, I begin by teaching clients ways to express and savor their appreciation of the good experienced in everyday life. A fledgling artist's ability to draw reflects the pleasure she's experienced from studying something she deemed beautiful. An adolescent's smile shows how good it feels to listen to the blues and practice playing them. And a teenager's glow radiates from the sense of autonomy that comes from choosing his own school schedule. After practicing with relatively low-level positive experiences, clients gradually become aware of and comfortable expressing appreciation for more important experiences, share these with their partners, and strengthen their most meaningful relationship. A lack of knowledge about what gratitude is and why it is important can hinder one's ability to recognize actual experiences of the feeling. When people practice grateful thinking or behavior, such as writing in a gratitude journal or learning to cope more positively with stress and anxiety, learning from their experiences with grateful people, or reflecting back on their own past, they can enhance their ability to perceive it and generate it. Changes may be observed in the brain that corroborate the behavioral changes. Thus, taking the time to reflect on one's reasons for being grateful at the end of the day, when people experience grateful feelings, can enhance their experiences of gratitude. Just as therapy seeking to facilitate the experience of other positive emotions, such as love or joy, is beneficial to well-being and in preventing or correcting mental health-related problems, so too are those that facilitate experiencing gratitude. Just as practices that facilitate the experience of gratitude can be beneficial to well-being in preventing or correcting mental health-related problems, so too can writing letters of gratitude be beneficial to well-being and positive emotional feelings. Similar gratitude-related therapy activities serve to provide more questions that encourage examining feelings and thoughts related to gratitude, sharing joy, and engaging in social interactions that help to heal psychological wounds. Healing psychological wounds helps people to build more meaningful, intimate, and healthier relationships with others. However, rather than being directed at many unknown people, these intervention activities are generally aimed more toward solidifying and strengthening relationships that are more specific and close. Chapter 6: Gratitude and Physical Health. While the words gratitude and physical health would have been deemed strange bedfellows 50 or 100 years ago, they are now seemingly common ones. There is a torrent of research studies that explore how gratitude, rooted in the heart, can actually increase our time here on Earth. This in no way pretends to be a thorough review of the entire literature on this relationship, but rather to showcase a significant number of these studies to enable you to appreciate just what extent gratitude can extend and improve life. Our book is not just about thanks, but thanks as one of the most powerful articulators of its exhortation to ascend with the air from the lungs. 4 chapters and countless references from other chapters show how this emotion was enshrined long ago in the world's religions and has survived endlessly since that time. Countless studies show the positive relationship between gratitude and physical well-being, and between gratitude and physical and subjective health. High gratitude is linked to more life satisfaction and better mental health, as well as other less severe mental disorders, such as generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. Without checking, it would not be a stretch to say that every study on gratitude ever completed has results indicating that those who are high in this quality have better physical health. These results apply to patients with cancer, obesity, and cardiovascular disease, and lower levels of biological stress. Even individuals exhibiting low levels of post-traumatic growth fared better while going through cardiac rehabilitation. Finally, higher gratitude is linked with healthier living habits. Such habits include better dietary control, sleeping for an appropriate amount of time, and avoiding drugs, cigarettes, and excessive alcohol use. Here I discuss what well-being research has revealed about not only how grateful people do not get sick, but also how they get well faster and better when they do fall ill. The key word is a robust immune system, the very foundation of health without which physical health cannot even exist. But next up, I also present ways in which gratitude can create physical well-being out of nothing. Here we examine how gratitude mitigates that sector of diseases that arise not due to specific microbial or genetic factors, but purely out of our negative thought-based torment. In only 4 days, inflamed or nauseous irritable bowel syndrome breaks down, and the quantity of pro-inflammatory acne oil sebum generated by skin glands dramatically reduces in both the participants and the control group. Following 3 months of practicing gratitude and donating to others, however, the improvements keep coming and lasting. This is particularly remarkable because acne is not a real illness but a self-induced one, if anything. Yes, it is related to unregulated hormonal and other imbalances, but it solely disappears during the periods when we are stress-free, appearance-conscious, and so, not merely coming in for no reason. Impact of gratitude on stress levels. Anyone can feel stressed out. However, if you are willing to consciously practice feeling and expressing gratitude on a daily basis, gratitude can increase your feelings of happiness with your life. An attitude of gratitude maintains that if you are consciously fostering some positive thoughts, part of your overall outlook on your life can be positive. This forms the base upon which renewed feelings of the mastery of life are gradually built. Because of this outcome, feelings of happiness can feed directly back into decreased perceptions of outside stress, primarily because it has already been decided that a situation in which you are is okay, in the greater scheme of things. When you work towards expressing gratitude on a daily basis, your positive emotions can push negative emotions into the background. Feeling grateful opens your awareness and can lift the clouds that diminish your perceptions of how much meaning you have in your life. Each day, feeling happy and expressing gratitude about the surrounding good things in your life can help to lessen the stress that accumulates around the things in life that bother you. When you feel grateful, you have a renewed better chance of facing your stress problems and rising back to a higher level of the mastery of happiness. Impact of gratitude on stress levels. Chronic and acute stress have become the identified culprits behind practically all physical and health disorders. They are debilitating and negatively impact the quality of a person's life. Recent research has identified gratitude as one of the important behaviors that people display in order to counteract symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression. Any emotion or behavior that counters the signs of stress has to be identified and promoted among those who are combating any type of stressors. A lot of people make an association between the words stress and gratitude and have found the absence of the former makes way for the latter to show its transforming powers. People become more attentive towards gratitude and start appreciating things or events, irrespective of their magnitude, that they took for granted or even never noticed just a few weeks or months ago when they are exposed to stressful life events. Such events make them critically analyze and identify their purpose and meaning of life. They assign utmost importance to close relationships with family and friends and are very thankful for them. A number of meditation centers have programs that focus solely on learning the underlying principles, fostering the motives, and generating the calming powers offered by practicing this most potent emotion called gratitude. Gratitude and cardiovascular health. Phrases such as please, thank you, and even those that have deeper religious connotations seem to be fading from our daily language. It is indeed interesting and perhaps even ironic that, as religion declines in America, a new breed of science called positive psychology has embraced a part of theology nomenclature called gratitude and is finding that thanking can make us healthier and happier. Recent evidence suggests that grateful people are more likely to have higher levels of happiness and lower levels of stress and depression. People who score higher on gratitude measures also report higher levels of positive emotions, life satisfaction, and vitality, and are more optimistic and energetic. They also appear to have lower levels of circulating stress hormones, more robust immune activity, and are less bothered by aches and pains. The concept of gratitude extends beyond simple politeness and prompt recognition of gift. Indeed, gratitude means at least three things: a general awareness or recognition that we experience good things and that other people make efforts to provide us with gifts, an appreciation not often taken for granted, often accompanied by wanting to reciprocate that kindness, and a narrative or story of the origins or sources of those kindnesses emanating from a forkful of pumpkin pie all the way to long-term consequences, such as a lifetime of happiness. Grateful people count the blessings in their lives instead of the burdens and are able to see things less in terms of feeling grateful for big events and more in terms of appreciating small daily moments. Thankfulness and gratitude represent ways of feeling connected to the world around you, and demonstrations of such may serve as nourishment for this spiritual connection of life. However, gratitude may also have specific health benefits. With regard to physical health, study outcomes are mixed. Gratitude predicts a large percentage of the variance in two relatively non-invasive prevention strategies: healthy eating and regular exercise. People who are grateful also report fewer symptoms of illness, lower blood pressure, less time in physician offices, and better quality of sleep. They are also less depressed. Indeed, instructions asking either directly or indirectly to make or remember lists of things that a grateful person would be grateful for elevated mood and led to fewer health complaints. More consistently, gratitude predicts cardiovascular health. Gratitude and cardiovascular health. Daily cardiac functions can be divided into three broad categories: high cardiovascular capacities, recovery of cardiovascular capacity, and capacity depletion, which occur during times of rest and sleep. Gratitude may have impacts on each of these daily cardiac functions. Research has clearly shown that sleep, and particularly slow-wave sleep, is correlated with increased parasympathetic nervous system activity, represented by a higher heart rate variability. A single study examined the impact of gratitude on sleep. While they found that a gratitude intervention improved subjective sleep quality, they did not report on the corresponding changes in HRV, which would indicate a corresponding increase in the restorative power of circulation-related functions during sleep. Other research has suggested that patients with chronic heart failure who have enhanced chronic positive feelings, such as hope, have improved abilities for improving the capacity for the restoration function of their heart. Although direct links between gratitude and the restoration function of the heart have yet to be discussed in the literature, these results support the idea that it may be possible to locally influence the individual daily function of the heart. Chapter 7: Gratitude and Personal Growth. Gratitude, growth, and development have obvious relationship. As we grow and develop, we do so in relation to the capacity that we have from others. As we grow through effort, commitment, discipline, and time, we do so with what is at our disposal. Our time, talent, and treasure belong to and are of others. For this, gratitude goes hand in hand with personal growth. As often as gratitude is seen as a result of personal growth, It is also a facilitator and a primary motivator of personal growth. Positive growth in the organization, more often than not, is inextricably linked to the satisfaction and motivation of the individual contributors who participate in it. Within these contributors, who represent integrity, internal motivation, and the effective use of time and talents, gratitude is ever present. The positive behavior within the individual is directly linked to the concepts of contribution and satisfaction that we outlined in earlier discussions. These contribute to positive growth in the organization while shaping the ethos of the organization as one of growth and trust within which the individual can achieve. In this way, gratitude is linked to the organization, representing a critical level of successful positioning for both individual contributors and the organization itself. Indeed, gratitude and this level of personal growth are paramount features of facilitators, contributing to benefits for the individual and the collective. This defines the process of connecting multiple practices. We have established the point that gratitude, feeling, expressing, and acting on it contributes enormously to one's personal happiness, and that by ignoring or poorly cultivating it, we make our happiness fragile and short-lived. We have noted that gratitude is a different idea from the ones with which we are most familiar. It is about other people more than it is about us. Being seriously other-directed will make us feel other emotions like sympathy or compassion, but by whatever reasoning we use, the data suggests that gratitude stands apart. It is the most sustaining social emotion of life. Automatically and of its own nature, gratitude shifts the focus from the tentative and frail part of human existence to the earthen and enduring. From that act of relying on one another for very human purposes, gratitude connects us to something greater, finer, and more long-lasting than we are as individuals, no matter how powerful we might be. Useless to deny it, in and from our gratitude, the very best human qualities are born, qualities that we at least seem to cherish and admire. But in addition to all this, gratitude has still one more thing to offer: the prospect of constant growth and expansion. From the start, we have labored to show that the mere saying of "thank you" is not the genius of gratitude. The genius of gratitude is found, not in the sentiment, but in the action. The action itself is elemental. Its molecules are acknowledgement, recognition, respect, and attentiveness. Like two sides of the same coin, the feelings are inextricably bound to the action. Each cannot help but reflect the other, and if the action of gratitude is genuine, it is impossible for the feelings that attend this action to not be uniquely and unmistakably genuine. We act from feelings. We feel from action. Together they shape our emotions. Gratitude as a catalyst for personal development. The life-changing power of gratitude is unmistakable. In fact, gratitude is often the catalyst that propels us along the path we need to follow. The mastery of gratitude allows for a continuous transaction between oneself and others. Finding the source of gratitude in one's personal life is a fair act of self-compassion. However, for many people, when personal development comes into question, one of the first emotions to be thrown away is that of gratitude. This preset condition permits a calculated internal morality and consideration to exist. This form of self-recognition is paramount, as is the measure of empathy for the next human being. The most successful expressions and shows of gratitude come from awareness of a sincere thank you. Gratitude is indeed humility born of the awareness of recognition of who helped obtain the necessary blessings that followed the path toward success. A living, breathing form of expression, it becomes fine-tuned to continue and repeat itself again and again. Gratitude with a transforming life force arises from contemplating the little and big grace of life with personal positivity and applying it in every living circumstance. An authentic exhibition of advanced gratitude assists with boundless wisdom in one's day-to-day cycle of life. There is external gratitude. External gratitude shows up as a simple thank you. However, the tool for awakening thanks most times can be driven within. This is internal gratitude. Inward gratitude or self-gratitude happens not from the actual thank you spoken or received, but from the personal experience of being recognized. This phenomenon of self-gratitude allows for personal growth, knowing that the body shape, form, or character is being groomed in the resonance response of personal freedom to choose. Overall, the root of joy is gratefulness. With this compound in one's hand, you will prosper upwardly, transforming oneself from ordinary to extraordinary. As a result, everything can be seen, handled, and understood much better. With gratitude, the incredible happens. With the positive spirit, an act of kindness does and will make a difference. Gratitude stamps its mark. Gratitude for the person whose endured actions harmonize inner feelings and resonate an external effect. Gratitude for the ordinary person, almost as if the flame of that creation was the spearhead or the enduring vision that shows the connected spiritual ways possible from the stroke of paying it forward. Most of the technological advances we are enjoying today came to light as a result of man's desire to improve the well-being of humanity. The desire for a better life is the root of human creativity and innovation. Today, humanity is committed to continuous advances with respect to wellness, health, and lifestyle. There is no doubt that man's persistent endeavor to rise beyond the ordinary and his quest to ensure the happiest, least troubled, most enjoyable existence has brought us to our present advancements. But are we really getting the feel of all these advancements? Can it be true that nature has endowed us with so much material wealth and yet left us bereft of the ability to enjoy them? Can we not feel the bliss of these earthly possessions? The answer is yes, we can, but we must first understand the philosophy of gratitude. First, by definition, gratitude is not a whipped cream emotion. The deepest meaning of being grateful is to discover on a daily basis ways to sustain joy for one's life, relationships, career, successes, and challenges. The highest level of gratitude, a rarefied level of human emotion, is to rise above being thankful for what one has and to experience being happy both for oneself and for others. This is the mastery of gratitude. Like prosperity, it has boundaries, beyond which no room exists for more happiness except to share it. Then, much like love, happiness grows in direct proportion to its giveaway. Countless studies have shown the benefits of practicing gratitude. One study found that people who kept diaries of what they were thankful for were more optimistic and felt better about their lives than those who recorded hassles or neutral events. Other studies have confirmed that gratitude enhances life satisfaction, bringing joy and enthusiasm. Gratitude is a trigger for personal development. One of the most powerful expressions of gratitude occurs when we acknowledge the variety of experiences that shape our lives. This acknowledgement makes every moment workable and, as a result, free-flowing and effortless. Overcoming challenges with a grateful mindset. Mastering the ordinary is about living life in an extraordinary way, transcending the daily challenges of negative emotions and interactions, while journeying ever higher on the path of our lives. So, what can help us stay in the realm of the world's essential goodness, remembering the fortune inherent in our nature? Perhaps building up a reservoir of gratitude can create a nuclear reactor of spiritual and moral strength that helps us stay above the turbulence in a spirit of enduring goodwill. The development of gratitude seems simple enough. The concept is not difficult, but daily living is another matter. There exists a short list of core obstacles that get in the way of gratitude: expectations, comparisons, and habit. When we can find ways to navigate beyond these obstacles that prevent being grateful in the present, whether this be receiving appreciation and gratitude, or giving appreciation and gratitude, we can more fully appreciate our lives. For an anticipation of gratitude to be maintained, we have to let the existing gift satisfy us. If we do not permit the gift to fully satisfy, we are still the person waiting for another favor to come before a response. While the viral nature of gratitude does mean that we gain from triggering more and more expressions of gratitude based on our satisfaction, the best way to encourage more satisfaction and gratitude is to grow in our capacity to provide it to others. This is one resonating aspect of taking a moment to enjoy the gift. When we appreciate the gifts we receive, we make it more likely that the action will create anticipation of appreciation and expression of gratitude. Come what may, a master of gratitude will aim to find a reason to thank life, the situation, or the person involved. If someone does us a favor, it's one thing to humbly say, "Thank you," but it's an entirely different thing to warmly express deep appreciation when little or no thanks were involved. The things that we take for granted, and the little things that others do for us every day, need to be remembered and thanked for. The more you are grateful, the more reasons to be grateful you will find. It's easy to thank when things are rosy and express appreciation for only nice people, but this is not extraordinary. It's the ordinary. Heal your soul with forgiveness. After the torment and pain subside, give thanks to life that you were given the strength to walk out with love and peace in your heart. Forgive because you deserve joy. Enough of your life has been squandered on tears and meaningless mingling. Your heart is a hidden treasure of love, waiting to radiate and receive abundance. To be able to see beyond the limitations, distractions, and restrictions of life is extraordinary. A mastery of gratitude combined with a good sense of humor provides much-needed strength to see ourselves as we really are and laugh about it. When problems seem insurmountable, engulf the light spirit of gratitude around all that confuses and distresses you. Rays of positive energy will penetrate the iron wall of darkness and bring in laughter, spreading joy in all directions. A master of gratitude will hear things that are left unsaid and express thanks for the unsaid. Thank you, true mastery. A heartfelt thank you is unique. Silence is a universal language. Chapter 8. Exploring Gratitude Through Philosophical and Spiritual Perspective. Since the time of the ancients, many religious and philosophical traditions have explored the concepts of gratitude, thankfulness, and indebtedness, either with philosophical arguments or through practices that have been performed for thousands of years. These traditions vary from east to west, and among the individual religions and philosophies that have evolved within them. The religions of the West generally have two dimensions, one of relationship and one of absolute duties to God. These beings have been said to extend invisible strings of obligation towards us, interacting with and influencing us through benevolence, thereby maintaining a degree of concern, influence, and awareness about what is happening in our lives. A theistic approach to gratitude has often been associated with moral codes of conduct that are said to rest on divine commandments of theological origin. In contrast, the religions of the East tend to interpret the concept of gratitude around reciprocity and the elimination of attachment. Gratitude is one of the first pro-social emotions that emerge at a very early age and that can be found in virtually all cultures, stopping egocentric tendencies and the illusion of separateness that have been described as ephemeral expressions of an illusion of being and concerns for self-preservation. Being grateful towards others brings us closer to them and connects us to join a larger collective whole in natural evolution. Social bonds and relationships can only be fostered if there is a shared sense of affection, belonging, and mutual recognition, underpinning the need for expressing empathy. This chapter builds on the psychological perspective, extending gratitude's potential to affect one's holistic well-being through philosophical, spiritual, and other areas such as education and sport. In particular, it uses the approaches of diverse philosophers as well as various religions. Philosophers, who are generally interested in competing for what is true and understanding the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, provide us with a treasure trove of insights inspired by reflection on life's wonders, frailties, and good. Over the span of history, philosophers have penetrated deeply into gratitude's true, good, and beautiful design. Their writings offer a variety of ways to appreciate how diverse the paths are that various people use in ascending the freedom of mind's heights, from simple appreciation of nature's gifts to an awareness of the common human condition filled with fragile structures, innate abilities, and contoured landscapes. Further elevating the conversation, spiritual teachings underpin a host of religious traditions. These traditions describe the goals of life and offer practices designed for achieving those goals, as well as a path to support one's journey when progress grows difficult. These traditions have bestowed many virtues upon gratitude and invite people not to see themselves in a struggle to be the best, to concur with each other, and to compare themselves with one another in the arduous task of self-fulfillment. These gifts, which come from the religious exploration of the ultimate question about the meaning of life, are perfect mirror reflections of how gratitude attends, repairs, and transcends both personal and social challenges. The role of gratitude in Buddhist philosophy. Buddhist philosophy accords a subtle yet profound principle in its spiritual approach towards mastery: gratitude. The concept and the process run deep and can be tackled from various levels. A beginner's understanding of gratitude might lead to thanksgiving. It becomes more complex in the realm of interaction between fellow living beings. However, understanding gratitude within the framework of psychological functionality opens a new horizon to the approach of the state. It helps the practitioner connect and engage with the prevalent flavors that one encounters on a daily basis. As the handling of the state involves working at various interface levels of the mind, access to the state is then perceived through understanding the connections of these separate layers. Lore has it that Buddha instructed his most accomplished disciples to the state of the eye of the Dharma by presenting them with a pearl. Those who could recognize the value embrace the timeless gratitude pearl. For this spiritual pursuit to be successful, one must reconnect with and remain in the gaping pearl of gratitude. Do we hold the secret to neutralize the everyday poisons that affect our minds? As one progresses in practice, deeper levels of the mind encounter gratitude in a different light. This is reflected as one dwells within the fruit of meditation. Deeper absorptions and new cravings stand revealed, born out of the enlightened state. Both the Buddhist devotee and the master maintain a simple lifestyle, minimize their possessions, avoid elaborate rituals, and partake and equalize with the fellow brothers and sisters of the monasteries, all because of their acute understanding of the gains of remaining in gratitude. Instead of demonstrating other references that dilute gratitude, when placed in practice, a heightened interaction evolves that transforms one into beings of compassion. Gratitude plays an extremely important role in Buddhism, in both the teachings of the Buddha and in the practice of meditation. The modern concepts of positive psychology are beginning to explore what Buddhism has always extolled regarding the benefits of practicing gratitude. The teachings of the Buddha inform us that we exist in an interconnected and interdependent world, where the well-being of our mind and heart is of paramount importance for achieving happiness and peace. Gratitude has an important role in making the mind calmer and more peaceful, which in turn raises energy levels and helps to promote mental balance. Giving thanks is also a very fundamental part of the religious practice, in both the Mahayana and Theravada traditions of Buddhism. This text will explore the role of gratitude and how it supports Buddhist teachings and the practice of Buddhist meditation. There is a saying in the Pali language, one of the earliest languages of the texts in Buddhism, called mudita, which means appreciate the good in others, instead of being envious or skeptical of someone's actions and gift. It is this very concept that underpins the reason why gratitude is so fundamental in Buddhist ideology. When we engage and are mindful of positive and kind thoughts, we become more loving and caring individuals, leading to a better society and world. This is the very aim of Buddhist practices, leading to happiness in this world and in future worlds to come. Gratitude in Stoicism, Insights and Applications. The essence of Stoicism as a backdrop. Before we delve into the vastness of gratitude and its mastery, we need to understand the context in which gratitude existed ages past. It is in Stoicism. Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy from ancient Rome and Greece that demands individuals live in accordance with nature. It is the study and practice of protecting your mind from external influences and minimizing time-wasting judgment. Stoic teachings are often centered around three important ideas: control of thoughts, control of desires, and wisdom over things we can or cannot control. Stoicism held a strong belief that anger was destructive. Extolling the virtues of gratitude, even if that seems like an unnecessary adjunct to the act itself, calls for an understanding of its roots and its conception long before its mention in contemporary contexts. The mere mention and suggestion that through daily practice, great wisdom can be birthed and greater levels of happiness can be attained are resounding echoes of Stoic theories. Virtue and personal ethical development are deeply woven into the teachings of this ancient and admired philosophy. To understand its beguilingly simple explanation for gratitude is to grasp the tightly intertwined connections between gratitude and so much that we crave in our own lives. Apart from Aristotle, another distinguished figure in ancient Greek philosophy is Zeno of Citium, who is best known for establishing the Stoic school. Both philosophers believed that practicing gratitude could lead to a state of emotional contentment. For the Epicureans, pleasant emotions would dominate, while for the Stoics, a deeper sense of inner peace would prevail. The Stoics did not just advocate expressing gratitude toward the people who had been kind to us, but also toward non-human forces and events in this world. They urged their followers to be thankful for surviving a violent storm because it reminded them of their natural constitution, the rational mind. Fatalism, a central tenet of Stoicism, held that our fates were predetermined and that this round of existence had come to us through a divine process that was caring and loving. One simple application of Stoic fatalism is to consider the marvel of our very existence. When we observe how we manage to live and breathe, we should burst with gratitude. Try meditating on the following Stoic idea. Put yourself in a mental frame in which you are about to receive a sheet of paper, and looking at the people around you, you suddenly hear a voice saying, You are about to receive a wonderful and unique gift that is meant especially for you. You realize that many people in this world are not lucky enough to be getting this gift, this letter of existence, through no fault of their own. Contemplating this mental exercise, would you not then open the letter gingerly, filled with gratitude and excitement? Are you not going to be eager to find out what is written inside? Chapter 9. Gratitude and Social Justice. Historically, the idea that being grateful somehow affects one's ability to fight against social injustices is not a new concept. There have been protests and many movements for civil rights that express their need for dignity by demanding equal rights. This has been addressed in numerous places and is emphasized by telling us to be grateful while speaking out against injustices. Expressing our gratitude for the things we already have can free us from the negative emotions associated with the absence of those same things, which can lead to a sense of identity that stifles any chance of hope of having or being enough. Being grateful for what we already have makes us focus on the good instead of the bad. The results of this focus could be protests on the streets, an eruption from the Mount Sinai of personal spirituality, or a shift in resources from private pleasures to public passions in order to change laws, save the environment, promote social justice, or in any way be service-centric in loving others. Grateful individuals are motivated to help others because they are aware of the help they receive and therefore are more sensitive to the needs of others. The goal of social justice in practical terms is to create systems that benefit all the people in an organization. Organizational benefits can be derived from the good feelings and behaviors generated by gratitude and altruism. One reason individuals are sometimes stingy with their help is an assumption that the help given to others is at their expense or that there is not enough to go around. However, with gratitude, this assumption is reversed. Help and kindness toward others bring benefits to the self. Gratitude can support social justice in many ways. First, social justice can be accomplished through the practice of gratitude. Enacting gratitude in organizations encourages employees to make ethical and just decisions. Gratitude also fosters a positive ethical climate in organizations that support ethical behavior. Second, organizations can communicate that they value social justice by making expressions of gratitude and offering help acceptable and even expected behavior. Third, organizations can initiate gratitude practices for the specific purpose of achieving greater social justice. An organization can create a norm of giving and receiving help for those in need, and it can be a norm in times of crisis to help one's colleague. Gratitude can help support employees in times of crisis. Gratitude can't make the crisis go away, but it creates the tactile and emotional resources that give individuals resilience and the energy to go on. Gratitude and activism. Gratitude and activism. Spending too much time thinking about the things you really need tends to foster a great deal of dissatisfaction and can actually limit and circumscribe your life. To truly find abundant satisfaction, happiness, and develop the sense of connectedness that makes a rich and rewarding life possible, get out and do something for someone else, particularly someone less fortunate than you are. Both feelings of gratitude and feelings of self-worth and accomplishment are greatly fostered by exposure to the suffering and pain of others, as is your capacity to love and be loved in return. The vast majority of the giving that people can and should do should extend beyond their own family and friends. To volunteer at the hospital, raise money for the homeless, care for your elderly neighbor, be involved at your children's school, pitch in at a political action committee, do something for the new refugee family down the street, advocate for the environment, take part in a peace march, help a divorced friend who has no job, respond to a disaster out of state. Give your time and energy to the community to expand your sense of self to be inclusive of your environment and have a life that is characterized by love and gratitude. Your thoughts need to always be on family, friends, neighbor, community, the far away, and the world. It is difficult to describe the powerful impact of an armed, fully initiated, and fearless participant in the game of existence. Yet this challenge embraces all the force vital to our development. What better solution could we seek to the world's ills than a growing company stepping into the main arena not with fists and instruments but with arms filled with love, heads filled with understanding, and hearts filled with gratitude? What could influence the young more to prepare themselves than to see those in enthusiastic exploration of life's ultimate potentials eagerly accepting with open minds the possibilities they reveal? What will these aware and prepared young people do when they explore life's potentialities? We need not be overly concerned with this answer at the moment. The important point is that they will be the doers, the ones ready to surface from the shadows. They are the salt, the catalysts for change. The heart change that we need to live at peace with the threat of thermonuclear disaster can only manifest from warm-hearted and loving individuals who feel the gratitude to be able to exist, and who wish the privilege to be extended to all. Gratitude in addressing inequality. Gratitude is the feeling of appreciation and thankfulness for the things that you have in your life. It is a virtue that calls for acknowledgement and recognition of the blessings one has. As a means of social communion, it strengthens relationships within the family, among friends, and within the community. The expression of gratitude is a mode of making others feel that they matter, creating an infrastructural foundation for better social synergy and common life. It is the best entry point or intersection to stimulate the kindness of human relations. It is an enlightened moment, not an expected common response from others. It is not just a conventional courtesy required to be performed. It is also a social connector as much as a strength for social solidarity in gripping social life. Unquestionably, the provision for the weak and defenseless individuals is a significant step in the society of well-being. It is an expression of our interconnectedness and the abundant generosity that would embody the whole humankind. Disposition in this free will approach is a recognition of what one has and what others need. Gratitude has the power to enrich and rise to an encounter with others in their full nature, support and affirmation. It gives the weaker individuals a pacifying realization that it is actually better to be on the side of compassion and charity. The morally superior position will, therefore, be shifted to one of helplessness. It also provides knowledge. A grateful society is something to reflect on and spark consciousness. It addresses social inequality, which is a prevalent need in our society so full of divisions. It is the hype of righteousness, charity, and goodness. Another new and refreshing angle in this book discusses the role of gratitude in addressing inequality. It starts by reviewing the role of gratitude and privilege in creating two spiritual paths. Then, it discusses gratitude's role in helping us realize that differences between people are order, not disorder, that each has to freely fill their own niche in the rich creative symphony of life, or we will all lose or come down together. If there is a solution to social classes or privilege, with the high or mighty having moral obligations, we must be thankful for them without worshipping them. With thanks, wealth comes with philanthropy. Without thanks, look at labor unions, the revolutions, or many who feel that democracy is the worst form of government. Gratitude is all about interdependence, the ties that bind us all together, with debts of gratitude capitalizing the financial or psychological bank. Another gratitude discussion title is Turning Scrooge Inside Out. The gratitude chapter concludes by citing recommendations from various sources. Many essays and mantras in the college entrance essay workshops shrieked that gratitude is unhealthy and has nothing to do with being a success, to which the gratitude book invitation reads, "Come, see for yourself, let me show you the broader, wider, deeper paths." Chapter 10. The Future of Gratitude Research. Each day, people across the world sit down at their breakfast tables, their desks, or their favorite coffee shops, and write in their gratitude journals. They know about the benefits of experiencing gratitude and hope to change their lives. In this chapter, we discuss how the growing interest in gratitude is impacting Western culture, how the gratitude economy is beginning to burgeon, and how the field of psychology, and specifically the area of positive psychology, is waking up to these realities. In the brief survey we carried out online, we found that gratitude rankings have increased for more than half of the people who completed it. Just as they should, researchers have noted the recent surge in gratitude, and this interest is reflected by a rapidly growing number of scientific articles on the theme. At present, many subfields of social, personality, developmental, and clinical psychology contain at least a smattering of research on gratitude. Yet, there is so much more to be done. The announcement that it would be dedicating almost $1 billion to studying gratitude and to finding ways to teach more people about it is a major signal that psychology is ready to turn the research volume up. We believe it is time for psychologists to rise to this challenge. I am hopeful that we will see a number of novel areas of inquiry, both empirical and applied, as the field of gratitude research continues to mature. On the empirical side, I would like to see further exploration into the boundary conditions of gratitude's potential to foster human potential and how to design interventions to overcome these limits. Additionally, there are cross-cutting questions that span all such applied work in positive psychology, such as how the psychology of social relationships intersects with personal efforts to cultivate a sense of gratitude. There is some guidance suggesting that future studies should focus specifically on the factors that modulate the development of joy and cultivate a joy practice. Similarly, individuals in loving relationships often take delight in the pursuit of their mutually enjoyed passion together. I look forward to learning more about contexts in which this sort of mutual enjoyment is likely to occur. Important issues for future gratitude research to consider include the prevalence of beneficial feeling and communication in romantic relationships, with a particular emphasis on what precedes these experiences and whether we can predict these experiences based on what a person is seeking in a romantic relationship. Other trends worth reflecting on further involve how gratitude is related to self-esteem and both positive and negative effect within a close relationship. Emerging trends in gratitude studies. Gratitude has become a subject that has caught the curiosity of not only the academic world but also the practitioner world. With the healthy blending of psychology, economics, sociology, theology, management, and education, a special interest is associated with recent advances in gratitude. There appears to be a rising trend in gratitude studies. This chapter attempts to explore the trend, analyze the content, understand the diverse perspectives from which the theme is derived, and synthesize its scholarly contribution in the recent past. An examination of numerous thoughts that emerge in scientific inquiry focused around gratitude and its recent publications suggests that gratitude is examined along various stages: its sense, its enabling conditions, its interplay with several facets, and lastly its quest towards the state of mastery. In recent decades, researchers have been interested in enlightening the concept of gratitude, for it serves as a critical foundation for the design and provision of many social, educational, economic, and policy interventions. There has therefore been massive efforts on understanding the emotions and thoughts of gratitude and recognizing its widespread scope, as well as its deep social significance. The recent trend has particularly been influenced by the common people in society, which propels financiers for mega blessings, politicians to thank the citizens for electing them, and organizations that publicly recognize good people and good deed. Academic symposiums and interdisciplinary meetings of the minds show no signs of depleting, affirming the continuing popularity of gratitude. This research is funded by numerous institutions and is increasingly interconnecting scholars of different disciplines, particularly psychologists, sociologists, theologians, and management researchers, creating a fertile community. The vast number of citations found in research articles also strengthens the notion that gratitude has received commendable attention from the academic community recently. The accumulation of knowledge through scientific inquiry often drives academic work and becomes the force of curiosity that attracts emerging scholars from countless fields of study to pursue particular lines of research. Over the last decade, an increasing number of studies have begun to follow an inquiry process regarding the conditions and consequences of gratitude. Most distinguishable is that existing gratitude research centers around two focal themes: dispositions and experiences of gratitude. Dispositions of gratitude reflect general differences between people in their overall tendency to experience and express gratitude, whereas experiences of gratitude are situation-specific emotions, typically occurring spontaneously when a beneficiary perceives benefits to have come from a certain benefactor. Despite recent attempts to further our understanding of gratitude, effectively advanced by a multitude of empirical studies grounded in different theoretical premises, the state of knowledge concerning gratitude is largely devoid of details describing how it influences people in powerful ways when actualizing this profound positive emotion in life. While the understanding of gratitude is what behavioral dynamics is to the functioning of a car, to get at what impels gratitude is to get at the motor that drives an endless number of good things that benefit life. Interdisciplinary approaches to understanding gratitude. The synthesis of considerable research excitement over the past decade suggests that the experience of gratitude has clear empirical significance, emotional salience, and distinct interpersonal repercussions. This is a sign that the study of gratitude is overcoming unproductive definitional disagreement and is ready to move ahead into new exploratory territory. One aspect of this new territorial expansion is the development of a psychological theory of gratitude, which I will describe in a rather general manner. Gratitude can be approached from the viewpoint of various disciplines, but in this paper, I aim to sketch a set of psychological concepts that I believe may be particularly useful. I will focus especially on one of the most important experiential forms of gratitude, gratitude in response to the kindness of another person, which is distinct conceptually from other potential forms. Grassroots social events or meaningful identities constitute emotional gratitude in the broad sense, as opposed to quasi-moral states of evaluative gratitude that are associated with the judgment that something has come about for which one is grateful and which may therefore imply future attitudes and behaviors of indebtedness, reciprocity, restitution, or retaliation. Three primary approaches to understanding gratitude are found in philosophy, psychology, and theology, although various aspects of their perspectives blend. A contrasting theme to an emphasis on discipline or tradition is that gratitude is a disposition based on universal human experience rather than on a particular religious tradition or system of belief. It is ironic that one explorer calls psychology the pretender to all three domains, as the opposite seems more the case. The near-universal acceptance of the importance of the power of gratitude among diverse philosophical and religious systems highlights the ways that the findings of the empirical sciences were consistent with and supported ancient religious and philosophical wisdom. The thanksgiving and blessing practices of grace, even by families who consider themselves non-religious, encourage thankfulness and positive emotions, and may contribute to one's sense of the sacred and well-being. Neuroscience findings suggest that spiritual feelings and the sense of the sacred are likely to be associated with emotion-regulating neurotransmitters and enhance the strength and resilience of beneficial immune and inflammatory cells. A significant number of studies present data to support the idea that positive psychological factors, such as practicing kindness, appreciating beauty, and experiencing awe, contribute to health and well-being. Conclusion and reflections. The purpose of our exploration in gratitude mastery is twofold: to encourage individual desire towards mastery within one's relationships, professional and personal life, and to contribute to advancements in the gratitude literature. In addition to anticipated contributions, we discovered 4 often perceived side effects. Online and various gratitude resources seldom highlight the following side effects with possible explanations. Despite encouraging the measurement of gratitude in the anaphoric sense, stressing temporal focus on the past, we inform you to consider time and learned mastery at each stage of the process, as well as knowledge levels to increase and deepen the extraordinary experiences, in addition to giving insight into ways to rise beyond the ordinary. Gratitude mastery is an emergent desired expertise within relationships, professional and personal life. We encourage everyone to be champions at implementing gratitude, enjoy life's untold worth, and contribute to building sustainers in relationships, the professional world, and communities. Upon selected face-to-face sharing of our work, we ponder the added value and personal touch of the human soul. In the process of improved relationships, increased positive results, and remarkable natural experiences, theory, research knowledge, time, and energy, we deliberately limit the words sprinkled upon the text to enhance the significance of each word, fine-tuned for optimized learning from the magnitude of ideas. In closing, we share some final reflections from our mastery of gratitude that future champions may find most impactful for incrementally becoming masters of gratitude in a trajectory of ongoing research. In conclusion, our story confirms that discovering the joy of gratitude is within the grasp of anyone who desires. But this discovery calls for far more than just following the crowd. It requires us to rise beyond the accepted standards of behavior in order to appreciate the true value of life. The sensitive, Caring people who dare to reach greater heights always take our hearts by storm, and frequently we wish to be like them. We yearn to experience the degree of universal love they share, and to join them in expressing it. This constitutes the kingdom of common achievement that one day our entire world will call home. We have seen that the mastery of gratitude transcends the usual taming of negative emotions into a consistently available attitude that fervently flows toward the future. It thrives even when the future isn't known or the difficulties faced on the way are less than pleasant. Repeated experience of living in gratitude could mean that changes in perspective and response have generated a transformed landscape of soulful existence. Far from appearing as a series of humdrum falls and pickups, life lessons may resemble instead a heart-expanding carnival, a journey full of living examples and eagerly anticipated, often entertaining instruction. Is this within our reach, and if not, why not? Key takeaways from exploring gratitude mastery. While showing gratitude has become a regular habit for many, scholars describe gratitude in terms of its mastery. Their work highlights a difference between the practice of gratitude and becoming masterful at it. When one is grateful, the focus is mainly on gratitude's receiver. The reaction or emotion nurtures the receiver, allowing room for social connections to flourish. But in the master's scenario, gratitude becomes a personality qualifier. It describes an everyday quality in life. The gratitude in the master's spectrum signals an absolute emotional connection. Therefore, it does encourage enhanced well-being. But being a master in expressing gratitude yields omnipresent, life-changing rewards. Gratitude training, by design, is more popular among spiritual pilgrims than holiday weekenders. Its perks are mainly long-term. Although it's not a one-size-fits-all model, its applications span various daily concerns. That makes it only exclusive to those using gratitude as a real personality trait. Prolonged practice in polishing enhances the trait as a concern for broader emotional well-being. Finally, contemplate how this makes you a better leader, colleague, family member, and friend. It's easy. After all, if you're serious about dwelling happier, you could afford to be happy today. Being grateful is bursting through, living with life soaring green and open. Gratitude is not a synonym for thankfulness. Thankfulness is a passing experiential state of gratefulness, whereas gratitude possesses and compels active transformation. Gratitude moves beyond freely given occurrences. It rings deeply of human commitment and destiny, placing an individual on the platform of readiness for being openly flooded with bountiful returns each day. Those who live in gratitude are not disappointed, nor do they carry impossible expectations in this challenging world. Their delight is uncontrolled, and thus they live freely, effortlessly, marvelously at peace with themselves and mankind. Empirical studies have shown that grateful individuals experience improved social relationships, enhanced job performance, and evolutionary strengthening resulting from their ability to use positive psychology. Those daily caught in an appreciation web feel energized, committed, and capable of clear focus. They avoid professional burnout and demonstrate excellent resiliency, leading healthier and longer lives. As with the development of any talent, for those who wish to increase this purposeful force, much practice and determination are needed. However, no effort is lost. It is realized that one will receive personally as well as give to others, protecting lifestyle rights to claim inner freedom, promotion of self-understanding, and personal development. Personal reflections on gratitude practices. Practicing gratitude is a universally celebrated method of promoting mental and emotional well-being. This text provides personal reflections on ways I have integrated the practice of gratitude into my own work as a therapist, teacher, and wife. In so doing, I argue that a state of gratitude is a multidimensional cognitive affective state comprised of elevated moods, combined with a specific belief, an understanding that one has been a beneficiary of the positive actions of others, and that the gift has meaning. These reflections are shared to acknowledge that cultivating and sharing the gift of gratitude and its benefits are vitally important for promoting connectedness, well-being, and harmony in ourselves, our clients, and society as a whole. After years of focusing on mastering the cultivation of positive affect, primarily within the context of psychotherapy, and being acutely aware of its benefits in various mental health treatments, I knew enough about the power of gratitude, but I had not fully explored it. The feeling of being appreciative had always been there, but I had not zeroed in on it and built a loving relationship with it. Over the past 2 decades, I have explored an extensive array of gratitude exercises, have defined a theoretical model of how gratitude functions, and when all of the pieces came together, the mastery of gratitude was and is well worth the effort. Gratitude is a force that can transform the most simple and silent moments in our lives into the most significant and celebratory gratitude milestones. This is the experience that moved me to explore the field of gratitude and tap its treasures so that someone else could get inspired by my journey. This reflection is like the subtle fragrance of the unseen flowers in my heart garden, and to share them would be a simple act of gratitude. If it's love given is love in action, for I believe only gratitude can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, and therein lies the heart and soul of grateful living. This is the reason why I chose gratitude to be the theme on which I am sharing my feelings. Personal reflections on topics like gratitude are the little contributions we can make as human beings. If sharing became such an inherent personality trait of human beings, we would have shared this planet in a much better place.